Hey guys, what's up? I'm Yalik, and in today's Boom Beach video, I'm going to be showing you a few more hits from my mid-level Boom Raider account, sitting at level 42, HQ 17 right now. Two of these attacks that I'm going to show you are bad attacks, yet they still work, and one of them is a good attack. And all three are successful. So, without further ado, let's make something go boom. This was from yesterday, and this was a bit of a mess, and let's see why. So, looked at this guy's base, and the problem that he has created is that he's got this little pocket in here. I can get into the blind spot of that rocket, and get rid of this rocket entirely, and then once I get through these three towers, rocket, shock launcher, I'm in pretty good shape. Now, the one problem with that, well, we'll talk about that in a second. So, barting down the furthest right rocket launcher, because that's going to be a problem for me. I can't get there quickly enough. No ice on this base, it looks like. You'll see what is quickly becoming my standard drop on the beach. Let the heavies get out front, not clearing any mines, letting the zookas catch up to the heavies, and then counting on the heavies to clear the mines along the path. Now here is the main problem with this attack. It would have been a great attack except for this one little detail. Note the range on this flamethrower. That flare needed to be higher, probably more like here, just next to the rocket launcher, and then flare over to the shock launcher. And then we'll be in the blind spot of this item. We'll kill this quickly, and that'll put the heavies in a line about here, and so they'll be protecting, or should be protecting, from the other rocket launcher. Also, there should be a shock on that. So that flare spot was bad, and it should have cost me more than it did, because now you'll see with the smokes are perfectly placed to cover that spot I was talking about right next to this rocket launcher. However, the flare isn't covering that spot, so when I come out of smoke back here, a bunch of my girls just get torched, and I had to throw a panic flare down here onto the flamethrowers. I should have had a bunch more girls available. Now, in this case, so flared over to the far rocket launcher, barted the one behind, did a bit of damage, and from here there's not a ton of things shooting at me, but I figured it would be best to try, sort of a desperation move, I guess, but I figured it would be best to try to grab some of this free GBE he has given me at the back of this base. So I'm going to speed this up at this point, because once again, and I say this a lot, people do this all the time, and this fellow has funded his own demise here. You see the critters are coming out much more rapidly. As that happens, the health of the HQ is dropping, and it's also giving me free GBE to work on the HQ. So didn't even have to get back there, just got to the back of the base, and this guy was toast. I don't know why people do it, but they continue to do it, and I'll continue to take advantage. So, by the way, side note, it was pointed out to me a day or so ago, sort of by a friend of a friend, that apparently I sound like Yakko Warner from the Animaniacs. I had to go Google that to see what exactly was being said and how exactly I was being insulted, but once I went and Googled that, actually, I can't really deny the comparison. So yeah, apparently I have the voice of a cartoon character. That's fun to find out, and that's probably fun for you to listen to. Now, if you know me at all, you're going to know already what I'm going to do on this base. This is a classic get to the side base. So what I want to do is start on the beach over here and go this way, and you'll notice where the range of the shock launcher and approximately that rocket launcher here end over to this side. So what I'm going to do is attack this rocket launcher, I BART that one out, and just get away from these two towers. That just leaves me with the upper left hand corner of the base to deal with. You'll see the same drop get the heavies out front. We're going to let them tank a bunch of mines for us. Only difference here between this and the last attack being that the heavies get a little deeper into the base off the beach than the flare and start smoking. This wasn't as bad. That last attack was not spectacular. This one, not so much bad, it's just it was a bit tight. A bit of a reflare there to get the heavies, or to get the zookas further back, and then flaring forward, or not flaring forward, just use the double shock on the mortar and rocket launcher. Once this mortar is down, there's not a lot in my way here. I'm just trying to get away from these towers. So at this point in the attack, I need to worry about exactly 3 things. And my critters should help me take care of these 2, which means it's really just the mortar. And staying out of range of these fellas, because they're nasty. Their range is just about the same. The rocket launcher is slightly higher range. So we'll leave that up for the moment. So the critters are doing their job. You'll notice I was a little bit worried about the range of the rocket launcher there. It did actually fire, but I flared just in time and my girls got out of the way. Once that, you see the late artillery on the mortar. So now we have one thing to worry about, which is this cannon. And you will see that, well, I've got 6, 7 girls out there-ish right now, that Everspark is pumping out the critters just quickly, and they die almost immediately when they get down to that cannon, but they are killing it just fast enough to get me where I need to be. And now at this point I'm golden. Can't reach, can't reach, can't reach, can't reach, can't reach, can't reach, and I have myself a nice little pocket. I have exactly 4 girls left to work on this HQ, but I've got plenty of time and nothing can shoot me. So sort of skin of the teeth here, although I've had closer attacks in my life. Nothing really wrong with it, just tight squeeze. Either way, the guy was a 56 and I'm a 42. So, and here in this case, I do this all the time, but look how much of his base I have been able to avoid. Just needed to clear out that one little corner, and all of this, all of this, all of this. I mean, I had to walk through here, but didn't have to address those towers. So just smoking past that, managing to avoid that way. We can't run it because we're on the draw tool. That's a Yalak move right there. Anyway, down she goes. So, poor base designs. Look at all those greens lit up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I thank him for that, which means more resources for me. Alright, so the final attack, which was from this afternoon, and this was a little bit, only a 51, but this wasn't too shabby. I don't mind saying. You'll see the same drop. What I noticed with this base is that there is a pocket beyond the HQ. Zookas should stand about here, and it doesn't look like the blaster ranges. It doesn't look like that rocket will range me, which means I need these 2 mortars gone. My critters can take care of these one-hitters. And then the only thing to worry about is that rocket launcher. On the beach, did have to do a little bit of smoking, unlike the past 2, because of the shock launcher over there, and I'm taking heavy casualties there on the beach. However, that does not matter. I just need to get to the HQ with enough troops to finish off. And so I've got my spot. In this case, I did flare correctly. And I'm out of range. We're going to be out of range of 1 rocket launcher. Obviously, we flared in the mortar and going to drop critters as quickly as possible to confuse the one-hitters, distract them. Flare the second mortar. So now the 2 mortars are dead. And the one thing I have to worry about is that rocket. And the only thing between me and death is the critters. So pump out another box of critters there, or a critter swarm, I guess I should say. And now I get lucky because the rocket has turned and is attacking the critters up top. Look at that. Me and a few critters against the world with some zookas going. If he watches that replay, I'm going to assume that this guy is going to be very disappointed, because at the end it was that close. But down she goes, and I don't always win, but I do get my fair share. Anyway, that's what I've been doing lately with my mid-level account. I'm pretty happy with some of that. There are some things we need to work on. Anyway, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to drop a comment, say hi. I'm Yalek, and hope you have a great day.